Hello everyone, hope everybody is having a great weekend. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings. This is the recap for Friday, Lotto Friday, another one in our series of Lotto Friday trades and teachings. Another successful Lotto Friday, lot of good trades. So before I start, just a quick introduction to anybody who's new to me or new to my my YouTube, new to my Twitter, or new to my community. So I do these recaps and teachings every day. We talk about the trades that I take or trades I don't take, but I guide my community through those trades and any ideas I have on Twitter, any ideas I have in the community. So we discuss all those trades. We see where we lost money, where we made money, why did we lose money, why did we lose the money. So we always do repeatable setups. We have a fixed trading system that thousands of traders across the world use. So there's a fixed trading system that we use, everyone uses, and we try to stick with that trading system. And that's what we're going to analyze, how that system worked for us, what were the losers according to systems. We always keep losers small, winners big. That's our motto in our community. So every morning before the market opens, 2 hours before the market opens, me and my team, we go through all the news sources. We go through the upgrades, downgrades, all the news sources, and we come up with what we call as a game plan for the day. You can see the game plan for Friday right here in front of you. Nike, LULU, FedEx were our main plays, and also UPS, Coin, OTLK, BIDU as well. So I go on the voice at 15 minutes before the market open. I go through the game plan, then I'm on the voice for 2 to 3 hours after the market opens, guiding my community through what the market is doing, the trades, the ideas, any trade I am taking, or any ideas I have for the community. So based upon this game plan, not only I share game plan, we also share what we call as our daily levels. Our daily levels are levels for SPY, QQQ, IWM, VIX, Apple, Microsoft, and all the daily names which move with the market. These are basically the big 7 stocks which move with the market. So we try to find how the setup based upon our Ripster EMA Cloud system and the levels and pivots, so traders can take these levels and see how they work out for them today. For example, today Google was a great example out of these levels that Google really worked out. On a trend day, these levels work out pretty nicely to provide us a good trade. I also share what we call as my day 2, day 3 strategy. This is one of the other strategy that I invented, which I call as my day 2, day 3 setups, that we focus on anything that had news yesterday, a few days back, or even many days back. We just try to keep watch on those and see how they're working out. So today there were decent day 2 trades. For example, DRI, PDD at the open, ACN. So there were a bunch of good day 2 trades that we will discuss and see how they worked out. You can pause the screen, read the rules about day 2, day 3. The rules are right in front of you, and this is what we follow, and the traders can. So basically the concept of the community is we have all these ideas, plans, the system. You can trade whatever you want. I share what I'm trading, my guidance. If you are already in that trade, you can use my guidance to help you understand how the trade is working out, if it's you're a stop out or if you're a hold. So that's what we try to achieve in our community, a successful, repeatable trading system in a cohesive environment. We have all the tools in our community. We have multiple option flow scanners. Today we got some options there. We have stock scanners, we have breaking news. So everything is available there to have a successful trading. We focus on the day trades. We also focus on swing trades. We are going to focus more on the swing and investment side as well. We're working on that, but overall we try to bring everything together and have a good educational and trading community. All right, that being the introduction, let's start the first play in the community. The first trade we are going to talk about is LULU. So LULU, let's go back, look at the plan. So LULU was gapping down from $480 all the way down to $410, and we successfully traded it short and we successfully traded it long. Now let's go back before I go into the detail. Let's go back and see what was the plan on LULU. So the plan on LULU was, of course, we know the news, downbeat, results, and the forecast was bad. So support was 412, 400, resistance was 420, 426. We were going in with a neutral bias. 400 was a key support. We will watch at open. So that was the plan. So as soon as the market open, I watch Lulu. I wait a minute. I just want to make sure that it doesn't hold the pre-market low and doesn't swipe back. So I waited a minute, although you could short right at open as well, closer to that 420 resistance that I mentioned. But I waited a minute. But then as soon as I see that yes, it is actually heavy and it's a good short, I told everybody to short it. You know, that's what I told on the voice, because I have on the voice. And you can see here I mentioned that it should fade to 400 because we were breaking the pre-market lows. It tried, you know, you see the pre-market lows breaks. That tells me that the sellers are in control, the buyers are not there. So that's where you take your 400 puts, or you short your 100, 200, 500 shares, whatever you can short. You know, if you're short on the shares, your risk is this high of the day, 419, 420, that's your risk. And you know, and if you're risking $6, $7, $8, then you're trying to make $20. That's good risk to reward. Anyways, today was a lot of Fridays, so options. So we were trading options today. So we were in 400 options. So let's see. I gave everybody a target of 400. You can see my comments here, 435. I told everybody that we should fade to 400. And you can see Lulu was breaking 406. Then it slowly was moving to 400. You can see my options here that moved to 5. As soon as I told everyone, that's where I took the Lotto options, you know, right here. I was a little late, you know, better entry, and you can see it was already for 50%. Then as soon as Lulu hit 400s, my Lotto options hit 60-70%, averaged up. And then it started to break 400, and that's when, you know, my Lotto options hit 81%. So if I had invested $1,000, I was already making $800 on those $1,000. And then 400 breaks. I told everyone if 400 breaks, we're going to fade a little more. And you could see this bear flag on Lulu, right? So there's a bear flag, right? We always see that. It's not the first time. Go back to the other trades, you will find, and that's where my Lottos hit 100%. I bought more puts. You know, I used my profit. I bought 395 puts. They went, you know, when this even those went 25%. Later they ended up as 100% as well. You know, so you can see that's what I said, Lulu bear flagging, right? So you can see that I said Lulu bear flagging, and that was at 10:17 a.m. So Lulu was bear flagging, you see here. And after that, Lulu went more. Look here, right? Lulu, boom, 390 was my first target. My 395 puts went 100%, right? And after that, I rolled into 385s, you know, used the profit. I bought more puts because it's a bearish trend. We are not trying to buy it. We are trying to short it. Even those puts went 50%, 385. 385 was my target, but we hit close to 387. You see where we started to short it, 412s. We hit close to 387. You know, that's like, you know, $22, $20 short of your shares. Very good risk reward. And that finally showed me a bounce. That's where I covered it, right? And where did I find this 385 level? How did I find it? So finding the target is not that big of a deal, guys. You just need to look at your daily charts. So I drew my daily chart, and I could find that there was a level here at 385s, right? So you could clearly see that there was a level of 385. That's where I found my target, right? Your target comes from your daily and weekly charts. We want to see how far, where the support is, where the resistance is. You see how many times the stock has bounced from this level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Again, it bounced from the same level. So that's how we find that point. And look at the bounce now. The same level gave you such a good bounce. So it's not a rocket science. You need to know these levels. Anyway, so you saw this trade. We made multiple 300% trades. If we invested $1,000, we made over 300,000 in the whole day on the short side. I haven't even talked about the reversal trade, which I'm going to talk right now. Let's go to the next one. So now we are going to talk about the reversal trade in Lulu, right? So as soon as I locked my profit, right? I knew my 385 was target, but that's fine. I saw the candles coming in, right? This candle made a higher low, higher high than this previous candle. So I knew that, you know, although I know we can reject from these, you know, from the from these clouds 512s, but we are at a daily support that I just showed you previously. So you see here, that's why I said that I closed everything. I closed everything 11:18. I say that I close everything, and after that the stock goes up, you know, how much? 410 was my target. You know, we go from that 390, almost 20 bucks, right? And that's when it was curling. You see, then it was curling 512s. Even if you don't, that's fine. If you buy here, that's a C minus. But the trade that I gave the idea to the community was over 395s when it was curling over 512 Ripster Clouds, my system. And that's where you can see there, right? 512 curl. And this was actually, the trading view was messed up, so this alert was supposed to be here, but anyways, so everybody knows that that was the 512 curl. And I also told them that we push to 400, we hold 400, we can push more. The target I gave was 3450, and then we hit the target, right? So if I show you, like, the whole community today was just killed it, right? They just killed the Lulu trade. So everybody did so good in Lulu, and some traders did both sides. Jarrett made 100% to the downside, he made 100% to the upside. You know, both. This is how you do high probability trading, up and down, up and down. So you could literally see how it was going down and how we traded it up, just like I showed you with the system. Repeatable setup. The system is telling us that we should short Lulu here, room to 400, bear flag, cover here based upon the concept of daily support. Then we bounce it based upon the concept of daily support, reversal over the 512 EMA Clouds. And that's not BS, that's the real stuff. That you saw my trades, you see my multiple 100% trades, right? And then you see the commentary of how the people are trading Lulu, right? So this is how you do it. This is how you have your successful trades. I show you every day. Anyways, very proud of Lulu, made our day, huge win. Let's go to the next one. So next one we are going to talk about is BIDU. Let's go back and see what was our plan on BIDU. Apple had some news with BIDU that they are developing artificial intelligence devices for BIDU. Support was 105, resistance was 109. I told everybody it's little extended. If it breaks 105, short it. It's a B minus short. And what did BIDU do? Right away it shows me the weakness. Right away it shows me the weakness. It breaks the level I told everyone. And that's what I told everyone, short scalp to the clouds. Right at the open I told everyone, short scalp from the clouds. From 105, and the target I gave was 102. And we hit our 102 target. 512 breaks, 3450 breaks, you know, so there's and we even hit 10150. You can pause the screen, see my timestamped guidance, and that's how you do it. Amazing trade. Everybody made really good money on BIDU. Repeatable setup. It's not about the alerts, it's about the repeatable setups that you learn, you know. So, and we were done with this trade. Once it gets back here, you see this getting back here, you get out. You know, the puts I didn't trade the puts on it, so they probably went 100% for some people, but beautiful trade. Let's talk about FedEx. So FedEx was a similar personality that we discussed in our previous YouTube videos, where we talked about Oracle, we talked about Micron, and what was FedEx. FedEx was gap up, gap down, chop. The problem was this candle right before the market opened, it broke our pivot. Let's look at the plan first, right, before we go into detail. FedEx stock jumps 13%, good guidance, good earnings, and support was 290, 285, resistance pivot was 295, 300, under 290, 285 is a gap fill, over that we push. We never really convincingly broke 285 at the open. So I shorted it at the open. I told everybody short scalp, but don't size too much, because 285 was our previous all-time highs. Excuse me. So stock can come to that level and bounce, right? Previous all-time highs becomes previous all-time highs, resistance becomes support, right? So that area, this area becomes support. That's why it bounces. And shorted it at the open, right? And got a little bit, but then I knew with this action, I got out. You know, I was not interested in this trade because I know it's going to do the same thing as Micron and Oracle, right? Of course, Of course, I knew it could fade. I told everybody that sideways, do not size too much. I will not short for now, I will wait. But it never got over the 512 EMA Clouds, and this is where it rejected. You see the price alert I have? So this was the price alert which tells me that it's turning bullish, but it never turned bullish. It did fade back from that 289 resistance. If I go back, I show you, right? So I have this 290 level support that became new resistance. It rejected that, faded back to 283. A lot of people were short on that. Very good execution. I just didn't focus it after that on that, but that's very well done execution. The Lotto options would lose a lot of money because it was all day it took, right? All day it took for that $5 fade. So that's why I decided, even though it was bearish, that was a great entry at 290, and I'm proud of the traders who shorted it with the system. But if you were shorting here, right here, and then you were stopping out here, there was a problem. You either short here, you do not short here, you short here. You see higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and after that it cracked, right? So I didn't have a red on it. On a good timing, I exited, because of that higher lows. Yes, I could have hit it again, but I was not really interested because that small range and choppy. Look at these candles, up, down, up, down, up, down. Yes, I could short shares, but not the Lotto options because they would lose a lot of money. But if you see that, that's a 0.5 Fibonacci. That's what they held all day. So good example. A lot of people did make money on it, but you had to be very disciplined and strict. It still respected the Ripster cloud system, right? But this dip and bounce squeezed a lot of people out. But anybody who shorted the bounce to the 290 resistance I gave, they did really good there. Next one we're going to talk about is Tesla. So what was Tesla doing today? Let's look at Tesla, right? So I told everyone today that Tesla, it's all about 165. It is all about 165. I did not tell anybody to short because it was not a short today, right? So you see me other days that I'm talking about Tesla being a short, not today, because it was holding 165. Was it an A plus long at open? Not really. It was a B minus long. So that's why I gave people the risk level of 165. You see here 165, resistance pivot is 169. I said do not long under 165. That's the key bearish bias. And what did it do? It started to push there open. And then it confirmed the long, pushed, rejected. When the rejection held the 512 clouds right here, then you long Tesla, right? So I said 512s held, 166.50 your stops, B minus. It's a B minus, B grade long. It's not an A plus long. It's against the trend, but you can long it. It's still a long. That's fine. And from that idea, I told people keep the move stops moving up, and that it went all the way to 170. Probably a decent trade, good guidance. There's not, you couldn't lose money if you went long on Tesla at the open, if you followed the system. So it was good. People kind of made some money on Tesla, decent trade. You can see the charts here. So repeatable setup. Let's go to the next one. Let's talk about the next one. The next one is NVDA. So NVDA was a long for us today. Let's go to our pre-market sheet, level sheet. So you can see that the level I gave everybody on NVIDIA was 915 and 921. And we started to break out of that 921, right? And the market was trying to bounce, and we saw flow, right? We saw the flow on our chatter flow screen. And that's where I told everyone, right? Look at my comments. NVIDIA is bullish. If market bounces, NVIDIA will go. And that's where I told everybody we can trade lottos, 950 lottos, 935 lottos, whatever lottos you want to trade, and you can trade that. And I gave everybody 950 target. With the flow, there was somebody bought 500,000 worth of lottos when NVIDIA was in 920, 28s. And I didn't buy here. This was a good entry too. A lot of people in the community bought it here. I bought it here, around here, when the flow was coming in for this breakout. And you can see that. That's where I bought the Lotto options. Lotto options is always 100% risk. You are looking for 100% gain, right? If you see that, I show my executions here. So you see that the option flow starts to come in. This is bouncing from 512s. I buy a bunch of 935s, $3, $3, $3. And then I sold some at $4, $6, $7. Last one I sold for like 300%. 300% profit on those, right? So that was the trade. High conviction, EMA Clouds bullish, breaking out over the 920 level I gave, breaking out over the flag, and flow was there, very bullish flow. That's how you do it, right? So no bullshit, no BS, no hindsight. You see my trades, you see my guidance, you see my time-stamped commentary today, on Friday trades. So beautiful trade, lovely, and a lot of traders did really good on NVIDIA all day, and we were really able to nail it very well. And you need to hold your lottos, right? And some lottos don't work. We'll talk about that in a bit. And it's not that we always talk about winners. We talk about losers too, right? AVGO, we were in a lotto. So we were in a lotto for this flag break. Tried to break flag, failed it. And bounce from the clouds, failed. So our AVGO did not work, but that's fine. AVGO is always 100% risk. I think there's nothing left in them, and I closed them because I know it's not going to work anymore. Lost like 70-80% on those lottos, but I made 300% on NVIDIA, and my risk is always the same. So if you're risking, let's say for a small account, $100, or in this case, lotto was what, $2. You had 2 lottos. Let's say you were risking $1,000, but you made 5,000 and you lost 1,000 in another lotto. That's fine. That's per your risk reward analysis. So AVGO did not work. We were in a lotto trade, but that loss doesn't mean it's part of the game, because we managed the loss. Now, if I lost $6,000 on this AVGO loss and I made $2,000 on NVIDIA 300% put, then I'm doing something wrong. So that's I have to fix. Anyways, AVGO idea was a loser. The idea I gave was this flag break, did not work. Let's go to the next one. Let's talk about another loser, although it would have been okay if we were, if I was a little early. So I tried to short the Apple when it was breaking down here, although I knew 170 is a support, and I held a little bit, but as soon as it reclaimed this 171, I was out. I took my loss, moved on. So because Apple becomes bullish at that point, right? When the support is reclaimed, it becomes bullish. So I took my loss on the Apple calls quickly on my lottos, and I was out because there's no use, because the trend is turning bullish. And when this goes here, it's no use, right? But if you go back and look at our levels on Apple, our support was 170.84. So that was the trade, right, that you had to trade short, but it did not work because 170 held. That was a good warning to get out of the Apple short. Loser, leave it alone, get out. So remember your losers, guys. We need to remember that. Google, one of our long-term swing trades in Tenet community, was good right at the open. I told everybody it's over the long pivots, it's over the 150 psychological level. You can long it. You can see the levels on Google I gave in the pre-market were 149 was the breakout. It already broke out at the 149 here, then 150 psychological level, hit 150, 158. Target I gave everybody was 150, 135. We hit the target. Nice little long there. Nothing. Simple trade on Google. Let's talk about UPS. So UPS was a gapping up Sympathy of FedEx, and there was not really, it was not supposed to be up. That's simple, right? It was not supposed to be up. It was just a Sympathy, right? FedEx Sympathy 158 was a support. It breaks that 158. It fades all day, 1 to 156, $2 short. It's a good trade, good idea, winning idea. Let's look at Reddit. So Reddit was simple concept today. Reddit was all about under 450 short, 47 breaks, we get more short, and over 50 long. So all day it kept rejecting 50. So you short at open on that 50 psychological, you cover at the 45 support. That was the support from yesterday, right? You cover here, you can short again, although it was over the clouds, it's a B minus, but that morning short was enough and you just get out. But what I want to tell you guys that both these 50 psychological levels and 45 regular level that I told you kind of worked. So you could trade that range, right? Short, long, short, long. So understand this concept. So another idea that worked but did not pay us a lot because it kind of bounced up was coin, right? So coin, we were bearish. If I look here, coin faded from 258, 1560 bounce all the way to 259. So it did pace a little bit in the morning. You see that level on the coin was 254 and 260, and it rejected that 260. The level I gave, faded back to 250. So that was a good short at open. I did have some shorts even later. I wanted to see if it gives me more. I wanted to see this 250 break. So I told everyone it will fade more if it breaks 250. So 250 never broke, never gave me more follow through. And I closed the short, but I did give everybody a long alert idea over the 512 EMA Clouds. Look here, 5 over, crossing this, no short. And that went, I was on the voice, that one from 253 all the way to 260, right? And good idea in the community, right? Short didn't work, that's fine, but the long kind of worked. But overall, it was a small range today. Just going to talk about few other pre-market ideas. Let's look at OTLK. OTLK had some news. Support was 10, resistance was 11. Trade was short under 10, long over 10, and OTLK in the morning broke 10, and that was just a short all day. It's easy psychological level on or OLTK. Let's look at Foot Locker. So there was an upgrade from sell to neutral. 24-25 were the levels. I was bullish versus the clouds, but never really gave me a setup, right? It broke down, so I never really did anything or made a plan for it. Breaks 512, as everybody knows, you have to short it to 34.50. Didn't do anything, just wanted to recap FL. Let's look at Micron, which was our day 2. Let's go to our day 2 sheet and look at that. So Micron was a day 2 setup, the support at 109.50, the resistance at 112. So the resistance was at 112. Micron, and what did it do? It broke the 109.50 support right at open. So it was a good day to short. You got nice couple of points if you shorted there. Yes, and later it turned up. I think few traders in the community were trading it, but day 2 setup. So I need you guys to understand, we didn't fill the gap yesterday, but today it did fade under that level that I gave. So understand this day 2 setup. Let's now also look at DWAC. So DWAC had the news, it was merging, but it was a sell the news, right? Trump's stock, Trump's company was merging. What is today? Support pivot was 42, resistance was 47. Once it breaks 42 is short, right? Once it rejects 47, it's a short. So you see the importance of level that I give. It depends upon you. I was not trading it at open. Some people like to trade it, but if I was, I would have gone heavy short on this one at 48, 47 for nice fade into 37 area. All right, let's look at some other trades that were really, really good. We can look at 5, which was a day 2 again. 5, day 2. So I gave these levels on 5 right here. 5, 175, and Accenture I gave 342. So once 175 breaks, fade all the way to 170. ACN, once 342 break, will fade all the way. Right, beautiful trades. There's so much money to be made there, and the risk was defined over the clouds. And you could actually start your short right here when it's breaking the cloud. Right here, you can short it, put $2-3 stop, and you could easily make $8-9. Same for 5. When it's breaking down on day 2, you could short it, either start here on the breakdown, just a small size, and you can add into your positions, or you can short right here with the clouds and add into your position when this level breaks. So beautiful, guys. So you see that day 1, day 2 setups, gap up setups, so many setups. I show you live, I show you my trades, I show you the setups. I hope you are learning every day. It's possible, you can do it. Just size small, don't go for home runs and don't stop out. Follow the system, you will succeed. If you want to trade with us, come to our community. We are your community is like a family. You want to join, there's a discount code to become an annual member. And don't come for the alerts. I'm not here to give you entry exit alerts, but I make sure you learn the system and make sure you don't lose money doing random mistakes. All right, have a happy weekend. I'll see you guys Monday.